Hey guys, it's Pete Wright with PluggedInPhoto.com, and we're here at Photo Plus Expo at the Sigma booth with Jack Howard. Jack's going to take us through this great lineup of lenses they have. They have some really great new announcements for us about their lens lineup. Jack, tell me what we've got here today. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about this new 24 to 105. Tell me a little bit about it.
Perfect. Thanks for stopping by, Pete. 24 to 105 was just announced last week. This is an f4 constant aperture zoom. People have been asking us to make a lens in this focal range and aperture combination for a long time, and it's finally here. People are very, very excited about it. It is a great looking lens. We just announced the pricing. It's going to be $899 street. Canon will be available in just a few weeks, and Nikon and Sigma mount will be out in December.
So right around the corner, just in time for Christmas, right?
Exactly.
And the other lens, and this is one people have been asking for, the new 18 to 35 here?
Exactly. This is the 18 to 35. This is the world's first constant aperture f1.8 zoom lens for APS-C DSLRs. It is equivalent to about a 24 to 28 to 50 lens on a full frame DSLR. Super fast aperture, super fast focusing, and ridiculously shallow depth of field on the APS-C format. It's got great out of focus bokeh characteristics and super sharp performance. It's super sharp performance. It's just really a pretty amazing lens, and so many people have been stopping by the booth to take a look at it.
So if people are used to shooting full frame with a 24 to 70, and their backup camera's an APS-C and they have that on there, it's going to feel very familiar to them. They're not going to feel like they're jumping from one extreme to another. It's going to feel like that 24 to 70 or 24 to 50 range that they're kind of comfortable with, but even a little sharper probably and a little bit more depth of field.
Shallower depth of field.
Shallower depth of field.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's designed for fantastic wide open performance. That's one of the key characteristics of the Art line of lens. If you're buying an f1.4 lens, an f1.8 lens, you want to use that wide open for, the blur. What's not in focus is oftentimes as important as what is in focus, and the quality and the feel of that out of focus, the bokeh, the blur, the softness, really just shines on this lens, and it's fun. It's one of my favorite new lenses, and it's pretty much the zoom equivalent of the 35 f1.4, which is a full frame, which is full frame lens.
And that's the buzz. Everybody's, and I know it's been out for a little over a year now, but this lens has everybody talking. The 35 f1.4, tack sharp, I'm hearing, and the bokeh out of this is amazing. Tell me about this lens.
This lens is the first of the art lenses that was announced at the Sigma Global Vision, and it is just setting the world on fire, both in terms of benchmark testing from testing labs like DxOMark and also from the photographers who are just using it in real-world conditions. It is super sharp, razor sharp, shallow depth of field. Close focus is to just a few inches in front of the lens at 1 to 4.3 magnification. So it's not a macro. It's got to be 1 to 3 magnification to be designated a macro, but it gives great, you can really get like great hero foreground placement with soft background blur, and it's beautiful. There's just so much to love about this lens, and the reader reviews on retail sites, just huge positive feedback, tons of 5-star reviews.
I've not heard a single negative comment about this lens yet. Another lens that is, I don't want to say it's the hidden secret, but it's a lens that I almost feel like should be getting a lot more use than it does, is the 120 to 300 f2.8 lens. And from my perspective, and I know you're going to touch on this, I shoot quite a bit of sports, and I'm usually lugging around a 300 2.8 on one side and a 70 to 200 2.8 on the other side. And when the action's moving around, I'm having to jump between camera lenses just when they're getting too close. And this solves that problem.
It really does. There's two ways to think about this lens. It's sort of a jumbo size 70 to 200 f2.8. Or it's a zoomable 300 f2.8 prime, and it just that versatility of that reach, that aperture, and that the versatility of your rack back is just so invaluable. When there's times, when you're on a baseline at a sporting event, you can't get closer and you can't rack back, and when the action's coming towards you and it's overfilling your frame, to be able to just rack out a little bit and still have the frame filled is just absolutely spectacular. reader feedback has been fantastic on this. This lens, all the new Sigma Global Vision lenses are customizable for micro focus adjustment and firmware updates with the USB dock. The 120 to 300 sports lens takes that customization to lens customization to incredible levels. It's got 2 custom modes and off, so that's 3 ways you can custom set your this lens. That's factory default, custom 1, or custom 2. You can speed up the autofocus. You can slow down the autofocus. You can set your own focus limiter that's going to override the focus limiter settings on camera, and you can adjust the way that optical stabilizer is going to present during preview. You can have it be dynamic, pretty much what you see is what you get, or you can diminish the effect depending on your personal eye feel. The OS setting does not affect moment of capture performance of optical stabilizer. It's just the preview, and it really just brings the customization to a new level. And when you hook up a 1.4x or the 2x extender to it, the Sigma Optimization Pro software and the USB dock recognize that as a different lens combination, so you can customize it with and without your tele-extenders.
So from a photographer's perspective, this really gives us infinite control of our image capture. This is a really neat tool. Now, one of the other things that we talked about earlier that I think is fantastic, if you're a Canon user and you decide to switch to Nikon, what are we dealing with there?
Mount conversion service. All the new Sigma Global Vision lenses in the art, sports, and contemporary lines, you can switch the mounts. Keep your lens, change the mount. It's a paid service, but it's significantly more economical than selling either personally or trading in and repurchasing in your new mount. So, I mean, these lenses are an investment that are going to be with you for a long time, and should you decide to switch from brand 1 to brand 2, you can bring your Sigma lenses with you.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I hear about everybody's fear of switching from one platform to the other is, well, it's not just the expense of buying a new body. I have to buy all new lenses as well. And you guys have basically taken that challenge head on and said, no, we're going to make it so that you can keep our lenses for your entire career and not have to worry about it. That's great. If the users or the viewers here want to get more information, where do they go?
Sigmaphoto.com. We've got information about all these lenses, and you can visit our blog, blog.sigmaphoto.com. We've got hands-on reviews and tons of sample images.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pete.
Great stuff here for you guys to check out at Photo Plus Expo. Log on, check out their gear, and if you get a chance, come back to Photo Plus Expo next year and see what they bring to you then. They always have new stuff here. Thanks for joining us at PluggedInPhoto.com.